So it's 2019 and it's Tramlines time again, Jane, isn't it?
I know, it's come round again quickly.
God, time flies when you're having fun.
I know.
So, but this is only the second year that Tramlines has been split into the two sections, isn't it? And been doing the Tramlines Festival down at Hillsborough Park.
Yeah.
And then the Tramlines Fringe in the rest of the city centre.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do this year, are we going to do anything a bit different in terms of interviewing people?
Yeah, this year we thought that we would, we're interviewing Alex as usual from Tramlines, Gary from the council, who is instrumental in the Fringe side of things, and then we thought it'd be really good to include some interviews with some clients who are either going this year or who went last year. So we've asked a few people to join us for that as well.
Right, I'm now down here with Alex Deadman. Hi Alex, you alright?
I'm very good, yes, thank you.
Now as far as the proper Tramlines, is it just called Tramlines now?
Tramlines Festival, yeah.
Tramlines Festival, yeah, which is in Hillsborough Park, isn't it now? And that's going to be, is it going to be a permanent thing there, or don't we know yet?
Well, who knows how permanent anything is, but it's our second year. I think we had a 5-year licence initially, so we've got the option to remain there if we want to.
Good. Well, it got good reviews last year, didn't it?
It did. It went really well, particularly for a new site. I think the feeling from both inside the festival and our attendees was that it was a really good site and it worked well. It
lends itself to that sort of thing, doesn't it? It's a flat site.
Yeah.
It's got the facilities you need and everything, and transport's there as well, so it's got everything going for it.
I know, there was a lot of, when we first moved, people were upset that we were going further away from the city centre. A lot of people were positive about it, particularly from Hillsborough. Yeah. But then it really does make sense, as for the reasons you've just explained.
And it makes the other side of the Tramlines, you know, the Fringe side of it, more simple to understand when you explain it to people as well.
Absolutely.
So I think it's a good thing, and let's see how it pans out this year. But based on everything I've heard about last year, it's going well.
Yeah.
So the festival at Hillsborough Park, it's over, how many days is it on for? And
3 days.
And what dates is
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday the 19th to Sunday the 21st of July 2019.
Right, and it's, are they full 3 days?
It starts a little bit later in the day on the Friday.
Yep.
But then from sort of midday on the Saturday and the Sunday.
Yeah, sounds good. And you've been planning this for a long time, obviously, because it's a non-stop job, isn't it? Right from, is it a year-long job, virtually?
It gets more each year. It seems to encroach on more of the previous year. But my role really ramps up sort of January, February time.
Yeah, but everybody I've spoken to about that last year so far has had very positive vibes about it. Yeah. I presume you've had similar feedback.
Yeah, definitely. It's very well received.
Yeah. Now, for those people who don't know, are there any tickets actually still available? Because it's been so popular. They started selling well early on, didn't they?
They did, and that's continued, and they are running down. At this moment in time, right now, weekend tickets are very nearly sold out. Right. It might be that when this broadcast comes out that they have already sold out, so I apologise if that's the case.
So if people want one, they've got to get in there quick.
Get as quick as you can, that's right. Saturday and Friday and Saturday individual day tickets are still on sale. Right. Sunday has already sold out. So
right, with you. And so the actual venue itself, we're back to the old thing about accessibility for the people who are listening to this recording, who are mostly sight impaired or even totally blind and rely on guide dogs or people to guide them around. The site itself, presumably it's covered off all the accessibility issues in terms of toilet facilities and all that sort of thing, with it being a proper park site.
Yeah, exactly.
I know it goes without saying almost.
Yeah.
But in terms of the content of the show, is it worth people going to this year? I mean, what sort of acts have we got on?
It absolutely is worth going to this year.
Well, it's a loaded question, this one. So what's the lineup for those people who aren't fully familiar with it yet? What have we got lined up?
Well, our headliners. So Friday we've got Two Door Cinema Club, right, and Cortinas on the Saturday with Nile Rodgers and Chic on Sunday. But there's loads and loads of other acts as well. Manic Street Preachers are there. Happy Mondays are there for Johnny Marr. Maybe some of the older people listening in. You've got Reverend and the well, you go to everything. Reverend and the Makers are back, a bit of a sort of Tramlines favourite. Definitely. DJs, there's more thing. We've got Annie Mac, who's a big Radio 1 DJ, who's going to be coming down. I always like the fact that we connect up the locals all the way up the bill. So John McClure from Reverend the Makers is a good one, because he rubs shoulders with all the kind of big Indian rock acts in the UK, but also is very good at pulling new people up. There's the new act from Good Cop, Bad Cop.
Oh yeah.
Last year it was Milburn, and they stopped playing, and then some of the artists are now in Good Cop, Bad Cop, so nice to have them there. Then as well for the younger people, Lewis Capaldi is polling very well with our younger attendees. Also Rag and Bone Man, off the back of having a new track out recently, is in the forefront of people's minds.
It's going to be a great show. And you've got a comedy stage this time.
We do. Second year.
You had one last year.
We did it last year, so the Leadmill live stage in the daytime, Saturday, Sunday, is a comedy stage, headlined by Reginald D. Hunter, who's a very good comedian. Also Phil Jupitus, kind of perfect really, because they're having all those musical. There's not many comedians who cross over so nicely into music, so very suitable for our audience, I hope.
Yes, that's going to be good. Music-wise, I would say if people are coming, you said Nile Rodgers on the Sunday, isn't it?
That's right, yeah.
But is that sold out?
The day tickets are sold out, so it depends exactly what's the state of weekend tickets where this is broadcast. But if you're hearing it and you want to come, definitely get straight on it.
Yeah, as soon as you hear this recording, if you want to go, get your tickets.
Yes.
Anyway, back to what I was going to. I was going to touch on the Fringe as well, because obviously some people aren't going to be able to make the Tramlines, especially if they leave it too late to book tickets.
Sure.
That doesn't mean they're going to miss out on Tramlines altogether, because the Tramlines Fringe, which is the official name of it now, that's still going on full pelt in the city centre, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So
now, you've got some information on that yourself as well, haven't you?
Yeah, so I guess you've already had a bit of an overview of some of the activities.
Well, we had a chat with Gary from the City Council about the way it was going to work.
Yeah.
He hadn't got much information on the acts that were going to be on. Well, so, I mean, have you got some sort of angle on that?
Yeah, I can give you a bit of an exclusive, this, I think. We haven't put this out there yet, but I'm happy to tell you. So, this has been programmed by Paparal, who some will know is my dad. Yeah. And also a Sheffield Live presenter with his green, friendly and different show on a Tuesday morning. So on the...
And this stuff's all the free stuff that you get in the city centre, isn't it?
Free, and so last year he programmed Saturday, having always done the Peace Gardens in previous years. That Peace Garden stage has kind of moved to Devonshire Green now, second year. So Monday is his normal kind of global mix. It's mostly like Sheffield-based bands, but with the global flavour.
Yeah, like Jungle Lion, for example.
Jungle Lion, for example, who I believe are headlining on the Saturday.
Yeah, so that's a good one.
Good example. Also, Mango Rescue Team, very fun group. Always like to see them. We've got there's a brass band, the Tin Soldiers, a 20-strong brass band.
I mean, they'll make a good racket, won't they?
They should do, indeed. And then there's also something. This is more on the international front. I think it's pronounced Dabke. D-A-B-K-E. This is a group of Sheffield-based Palestinian dancers who actually have come originally from the Nablus refugee camp in Palestine, so all the way to Sheffield. Sort of drawing a connection with the whole Sheffield city of sanctuary.
Yeah, definitely.
There's also the One World Choir who are performing on the Sunday, who are composed of refugees and asylum seekers based in Sheffield.
All right, that's going to be good.
Yeah,
that's on Devonshire Green on the first day, isn't it? On the Saturday, is it?
Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, Saturday and
mixing
Sunday.
it up a bit there. Yeah, Sundays you kind of
there's some other stuff on Sunday as well,
there's
isn't there?
Some cover bands and sing-along stuff. I think Sundays on the festival, it's like a real feel-good day on the festival. Maybe had a bit of a heavy night on Saturday, potentially.
You could recover.
Yeah, you want it to be quite nice and accessible, and maybe hear a song that you might have heard before and have a sing-along, and hopefully the sun will be out as well. I did actually manage to get to Devonshire Green at about 6 o'clock on the Saturday last year, and the atmosphere was just fantastic. I think it might have been Jungle Lion playing.
Oh yeah, could be.
It was just lovely. Such a nice mixture of people, such a good atmosphere, so safe and just great that it happened.
Yeah, so if you miss out on the Tramlines, the proper Tramlines, you have to have that in brackets after your name on the website, the proper Tramline. Yeah. No, just kidding. The Fringe is the free stuff that basically goes around all around the city centre. There's stuff in the Peace Gardens But it's more, is that more recorded music or something?
Yeah, well, the Peace Gardens is going to have a big Helter Skelter. There's going to be quite a few bars there.
Yep.
A bit of an 80s, 90s disco going on, I think.
Yep.
And a few, got some deck chairs and stuff like that, so some seating.
Yeah.
The street theatre is going to be based around Barker's Pool.
Right,
a bit more of a family focus there. Some nice food and traders there. And the street theatre, which sort of emanates from that area, and some of them go roaming around and interacting with people around the city centre. So yes, a bit of something for everything, so for everybody, hopefully.
And I think the beauty of that is that having the segregation of the two events, it means people know where they are with it all, don't they? Because I think in the very early days, sometimes people didn't know quite which bit was going to be paid for and which bit was going to be paid for. And you got people buying tickets and then not quite getting to their main band they wanted to see, just by random chance. That's kind of solved now, isn't it, with this new system?
Yeah, well, if you've got your ticket to Hillsborough, you're going to get in, and, and any of the acts that are on the bill, you're going to be able to see, which avoids any kind of disappointment. And then if you want to know about the Fringe, there is actually Exposed to hosting a website on the Fringe.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. It's very good. I've been on it. It's got all the stuff I'd be interested in terms of venues in the city centre that put in stuff on. They seem to have they're doing a very good job, Exposed magazine, generally, on the music front in Sheffield anyway. But I went on their website and I was quite pleasantly surprised how much detail there was there.
I'm glad to hear
as well as your own website, of course, which people can go to. What's the website?
So website for Tramlines is www.tramlines.org. That's org.uk.
Right.
Everything is up on there, and then you can check the Exposed website for Fringe listings.
I don't know what the exact website is for the Exposed one, but I just did Exposed Magazine Sheffield.
There's a tab on there.
Took me straight to it, and it's very good. There is going to be a printed version of that kicking about, which is going to be everywhere.
Yeah, you're well clued up.
Obviously, that is not suitable for people who can't read, but it's certainly suitable for people who can't read guides. Or their wives or husbands or whatever.
Well, I imagine that they'll host it. They normally host it. I think it's a website called Issuu, ISSUU, which you can host online magazines. What they normally do with Exposed magazines, they put it up on there. And I know that I think it's a PDF. It's not just an image, so the text in there should be readable with your.
I was going to say, and if you struggle with that one, the secret with that one is any PDF document you get is open it up in Microsoft Edge, and it will read it out verbally to you.
That's a good pro tip there,
which is really useful to me, I must admit. So that's one for Microsoft there.
Good, excellent.
Well happy with that one.
Good.
PDFs finally they're accessible, and there's certain programs now you can even edit them down for yourself if you can't. Times have moved on a bit since the olden days. Right, well, I think we've covered everything. Is there anything on there you want to add to that,
might be
Alex?
A couple of new additions to the festival, just to make sure everybody knows what's happening. We're working quite closely with BBC Introducing this year.
I forgot that one.
We've got 6 acts that have been chosen by the Sheffield BBC Introducing show. Along with that, we announced that recently, along with our Apply to Play acts. So sort of good, diverse smattering of locals there. So 12 acts
very important,
included. Also, our Into the Trees area that's kind of the family-focused area of the festival. This is within Hillsborough. We've got we've got a group called the Flying Seagull Project. Who do lots of different sort of circusy and interactive activities. They also go out and work in refugee camps, but also in other festivals around the UK, like Glastonbury, for instance. So they're kind of good, fun festival people. The Cool Beans Roadshow is there. The Lead Mill, Cool Beans and Other Sheffield Live.
That's right, they used to do a show down there, didn't they?
The Club Tropicana, which is like the Lead Mill's kind of 80s cheesy disco, that's going to be happening there. Stone Balancing.
I've seen it done. I might have a nasty accident trying to balance stones, I'm not so good on that one.
They're only little ones, I think. And then there's also some roaming dinosaurs. So I guess this is people in dinosaur suits. Don't want to spoil the illusion.
I think you might be right, I think I've seen them before.
They're
good though.
It's not. We saw a lot of new families last year, and I think it's becoming, if you fancy a festival which really does feel like a proper, greenfield site festival, but you also quite like going home at the end of the night and getting in your bed. I think people are really finding Tramlines are suitable for them.
Well, that's the beauty of it. I mean, I never, even when I was younger, I never really took to sleeping in a pile of mud.
No.
as a way to spend a Saturday evening, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or Saturday night. It tends to spoil the following day, you know. So if you can go home and have a bath and a warm-up and then bite food up and then get back the following day and do it all again.
Yeah, and if you have a disaster on site, you can always just go off and come back again, which is always useful.
That's right. True. So anything else there? I think we've pretty much covered it off, haven't we, really?
Yeah, well, there's a new food area from from the food court that we've got over here.
Oh, right, yeah.
Cutlery Works.
Good luck with it, because I'm really, really enthusiastic about it this year, because finally, I'm a man of simple brain, finally I can get my head round this. Because
it's only took us, what, 10 years to get it right?
10 years, you got it good eventually.
Good.
I think in the early days I was struggling with some of the stuff.
We all were. Don't worry, you weren't the only one.
But that popularity is what's made it what it is. It's known throughout the country, isn't it? I mean, Tramlines Sheffield, it's put Sheffield on the map.
It certainly has.
So, yeah, well, thanks for chatting to us, Alex.
Thank you.
And good luck with the festival. Cheers. Right, well, we're here with Gary Clifton from Sheffield City Council, and I'd like to know really what your involvement in Tramlines is now, because things have been changing and transmogrifying over the last couple of years, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
So it's clearly now that the Tramlines itself in Hillsborough Park is run by the Tramlines company, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then the Fringe part of Tramlines is now your responsibility, isn't it? Perhaps not yours as an individual. I don't know. Who gets done if it all goes wrong? Is it yourself?
Probably me on both counts, to be fair.
Right. But of course, the Fringe itself, as a general idea, has been going ever since Tramlines started, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
But now it is actually formalised. The Fringe is the city centre stuff that's pretty much all free, isn't it?
Yes, all free.
Yep. So it's over how many days? Is it Saturday?
Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. And is it the full days?
Yes, it is, yes. We tend to run 12 while 9 on the Saturday and 12 while 8 on the Sunday.
Yeah. And what are the main components of the event? I know there's lots and lots of pubs around Sheffield doing Tramline stuff, but the main venues as far as you're concerned?
Well, I think one of the challenges we'd got when we suggested to the main Tramlines festival organisers is that for that event to continue and to be sustainable from an income and expenditure point of view, they needed to move to a big location.
Yeah.
So they moved to Hillsborough, and it worked fantastically well down there, and it still works fantastically well down there. One of the concerns we had as a city council and as part of the major events team was that, in my opinion, and there's no way of absolutely knowing this, but you know, it was in its 10th year last year for the festival. There was probably somewhere between 80 to 90% of the people that came into the city centre for Tramlines had never bought a ticket and were never going to buy a ticket. Yeah. And that's fine, because they enjoyed the vibe, the feel, the diversity of the music, the offer, the food, the fact that they didn't have to pay for a ticket, which was great. But we were kind of left in a position that said, well, is it going to leave a big gap in the city's events calendar for thousands of people that just want to come into the city centre and have a nice, free, community, safe, friendly event? Yeah. We'd also had a lot of the bars and restaurants that had been benefiting from Tramlines being in the city centre because of, you know, people spending more money in their bars and restaurants and food and drink and catering. They were nervous that it would also leave a gap in their weekend that's traditionally one of the worst income weekends out of the whole year for traders.
Normally,
because all students have gone. Students have left the city a month before, and it's the start of the 6 weeks holidays, so it's a really quiet time. So
it's a great time to have it, isn't it?
Well, that was it. You know, the idea of Tramlines in its inception 10 years ago was to pick a weekend that's traditionally quiet. So it was a bit of a cash injection that helped the bars and restaurants see them through the summer months. So we were kind of left with, well, we know we've got a lot of people that want to come and enjoy Tramlines. We've got a lot of bars and restaurants that need that footfall, for want of a better phrase, to come in and spend money, and we want to animate the city centre. You know, we want things in the city centre. The city centre's on the up. You know, part of the City Sheffield 2 project, the more stuff, HSBC, and to keep investors coming into the city and seeing the city with eyes new. They needed to see that the city was vibrant, cosmopolitan, something to do, something to see, worth visiting, would come back. would visit city centre for the first time and think, actually, I'm actually going to go back there to shop there or see this event or that event. So we wanted to make sure that we kept the festival going.
It is definitely doing that, because I know of somebody who was amazed at how many people were getting off the trains from places like Nottingham and places, Derby, coming specifically to Tramlines, whether they were going to the paid one or the city centre one, it didn't matter, and everybody had a cracking time if you were there to spend the full day there.
I think that's the other beauty of it as well. The main event at Hillsborough now, the acts that they're now getting are of global significance, so that helps the image of the city, and it brings people from outside the city's economy into our economy. So it's new money coming in, which is really important for all of us, the hotels, bars and restaurants across the city. And they're seeing Sheffield possibly for the first time. And actually think, oh, I didn't know about the Leadmill, or I didn't know about Corporation, or I didn't know about Tank, or I didn't know about, you know, this studio or these artists or that bar. So it raises the profile of the city. And the Fringe is a fantastic addition to that, because it caters for people that don't want to go to Hillsborough.
Yeah, and people want to dip in and out of stuff. That's the thing, isn't it?
So
we're typical dippers in and out.
Yeah, we are.
Me and
Absolutely.
Partner.
So we work very closely with Exposed Magazine. So they work with all the bars and restaurants in the city centre that want to be part of the Fringe at Tramlines event.
Now, Exposed Magazine, for people who don't know of it, it's a small sort of A5 size magazine that does the rounds. It's a free one available all year. But they are particularly very homed in on the music scene, aren't they? And of course, they've stepped up to the plate last year when it came to Tramlines, and they've done even better this year. I've been on the website. It's totally accessible to sight impaired people. You can very easily find your way around and see what's going on as best you can in the city. I mean, you're never going to get all the information and be able to remember it all, because there's a heck of a lot of stuff going on. All the main stuff, you know, for example, what's going on up towards up towards Devonshire Green. All that's covered really well, and so you'll get a lot of information by just going on the Exposed Magazine website. And for people who can't see, that's better than actually getting the magazine.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, it is. It would be absolutely unfair of me not to mention Sheffield BID, Business Improvement District.
Oh yes,
they're key funders for the Fringe, and without them it simply wouldn't happen. Yes, the City Council's heavily involved. We provide funding towards it, we provide operational support towards it, but Sheffield BID have been fantastic in their support of it, because again they recognised that it amplifies the city centre's existence to people of the city.
I've noticed their logo.
So it's really important for them, because they're putting something back, because the BID levy payers are the businesses within the city centre. So their investment into this event raises the profile of the city centre to help business, regeneration, growth, enjoyment of the city centre, enjoyment of our space, of our
positivity about Sheffield, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the actual venues that are going to be in the Fringe that are the bigger venues, what have we got?
Well, Devonshire Green, we decided to move the world stage that used to be in the Peace Gardens up onto Devonshire Green, just because it's a bigger capacity. So we can get 4,000 on there. We've hooked up with Alan Dedman, who's a local music promoter, who's been involved in the world music stage probably for 10 years or so.
Donkey's years.
A while.
Definitely.
And he's going to put on acts on the Saturday and the Sunday. On the Saturday we've kind of gone for the general vibe that people like on the Saturday, some multicultural stuff, some ethnic stuff, some jivey stuff, some dancey stuff, which is really nice, really neat, and goes down really popular. On the Sunday, I wanted people to be able to come to an event where they could. The Saturday music is fantastic, but unless you know the acts, you don't know the words to the songs. So the Sunday, we've asked to focus on some. I know it's a bit cheesy, but people enjoy it, and we've seen them enjoy it. We're bringing in some copy acts. So that if you walk in, most people will know the songs that's been sung, the music that's been sung.
So the tribute bands.
So people will be able to come in and see and hear stuff that they will know, so they'll feel comfortable, they'll feel at ease, and it will drag people in.
Oh, there's definitely a market for that. I like my tribute bands.
It's a bit cheesy, but it works. So we're going to do that on the Saturday and Sunday on Devonshire Green.
I knew something had changed, but I didn't know exactly how it was working.
That's what we're going to do.
No, that should be good, that.
Barker's Pool. Again, fantastic support from the University of Sheffield. Vanessa Tillman. We collaborate on bringing in street performers, street acts from Covent Garden and around. And it's really neat. It's a calmer version. It's a bit of a transition space between the Peace Gardens and Barker's Pool, but it's a stop and sample type thing in this really neat street. Acts, street art, street dance, street music that engages kids and older people and families alike.
Am I right in thinking some of it escapes from Barker's Pool as well and wanders around?
Yeah, we'll let them drift around. Yeah. It's quite hard to control them, to be fair.
Yeah, well, that's
which, wearing my boring health and safety hat, makes me sweat a little bit, but that's the nature of artists.
That's it.
That's the nature of the beast. So yeah, that's on the Saturday and Sunday, and that's ever so popular, works really well. Yellow Bus Events organise that on our behalf and are very, very good at it.
Yeah. And you've got lesser venues like Leopold Square's always a popular one. I love heading in there for a rest.
Well, and I think that's the thing. A lot of the bars and restaurants along the way create their own party, but in a nice way. So you can, if you want to get out of the noise, the whole. There's plenty of places to go to listen to some fantastic music, be it rock or acoustic or somewhere in the middle. Have something nice to eat, sit with your family and just have a nice time.
There's quite a lot going off down Kelham Island, isn't there, as well? They usually do all right down there.
Well, the thing that's interesting about Kelham Island is it's in the middle of the two venues. Yeah. So I think that's now going to become a firm favourite of Tramlines just by the fact that it's in the middle. So when Tramlines finishes on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday people at 10 o'clock and 9 o'clock, they can walk to Kelham Island and then walk to town. So there's a staging post along the way.
Definitely.
Which is great because Kelham Island's just, it's a fantastic...
buzzing, isn't it, down there nowadays?
Regeneration, I think The Guardian voted it the #1 hippest place to live in the whole of the UK last year, which is...
I'm not surprised, though. I'm not surprised.
For ones that have been in Sheffield for a while, that's quite bizarre. I remember what it was like when I was 15, 16, and it definitely wasn't a place...
No, it's come a hell of a long way.
Absolutely, but it's fantastic. So again, the whole thing is regenerating bits of the city as it goes along, which again is really important. Peace Gardens, we've turned that into we're going to turn it into a bit of a cheesy disco area.
Right, yeah.
So ABBAs and 60s and 70s cheesy disco type stuff.
So it's going to be like pre-recorded music going out whilst people are also eating and drinking, that sort of stuff. Yeah.
We'll bring some kiddies rides in, some face painting. So again, one of the nicest things I saw last year was a couple of a certain age, which was probably over 70, and then a granddad with their 2 granddaughters, both under 5. And you kind of like, that's exactly what we want to see.
That's what you want, isn't it? Yeah.
But then mixing with 20 and 30-year-old couples just having a drink as well in a lovely, safe, pleasant, warm atmosphere, which was really nice. So if you want to dance and jump about, Deb Green's the place. Yeah. If you want it a bit calmer, Peace Gardens is the place. So it's trying to find that. We try to create that safe environment where everybody can just come and enjoy.
Thanks for telling us all about that.
No problem at all.
I know there was one thing I do want to mention. It's fairly obvious, I would imagine, but things like toileting facilities, there's the appropriate level of extra toilets there for people that need it, and disabled toilets,
stewards, child welfare plan, toilets and medical provision is all in place across the city. Because that for me is what we get measured upon as a team.
Yeah, sure.
The safety and welfare of everybody attending is above everything else.
So thanks for having a chat with us, Gary. Much appreciated.
No problem.
Right, well, I've come to SRSB to have a chat with a few people who are going to Tramlines and some people who've been to Tramlines to see what they think of the new setup. And I'm with my old friend Ken. Hi, Ken, you all right?
Hello, Graham. Yes, thank you.
Good. Now, you've not been to Tramlines yet.
No, the one at Hillsborough, no.
No, but you have got a ticket, haven't you, for this year? So that's going to be an interesting experience for you.
Definitely, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, are you actually going with a guide dog or a guide or both?
Both.
Right. So that makes the guide dog thing. Have you looked into the possibilities of how that's going to work out, or are you just hoping for the best?
I'm hoping for the best.
Yeah. Well, I know the official stance by the Guide Dog Association is that it's up to the individual owners to decide whether their dogs are suitable for these sort of events. And I know for a fact that places like Hillsborough Park have got areas that are potentially usable as spending areas, so that isn't going to be a problem. But having a pair of human eyes as well, I think is going to be a definite bonus for you down there.
Definite help, yeah.
Yeah,
if she didn't like you, we had problems the first night.
Yeah.
I should find somebody to look after for the Saturday and Sunday
Of course,
nights.
because you've got the ticket for all 3 days, haven't you? So you're going to have a right music fest.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's going to be great.
Hope so.
Yeah, now, I know Nile Rodgers and Chic are doing that. I think they're headliners on Sunday, aren't they? And is it the Manic Street Preachers?
That's Friday, I think.
They're Friday.
Manic Street.
Yeah, and I think blooming heck, I can't remember the name of the other band, but there's some great stuff. There's a massive list on the Tramlines Festival page. My tip, however, is at the moment the most accessible web page to look for information about Tramlines is the Exposed magazine web page.
Right.
Because that seems to be more accessible in terms of reading out the information.
Yeah.
And that's got both the official Tramlines Hillsborough Park thing and the other stuff that's going on free in the city centre.
Yeah.
The Tramlines Fringe, as it's officially now called.
Yeah, right.
So, but no matter which one you're doing, Exposed Magazine's probably got the most information in there generally. So, so you've got your experience of, normal gigs. We've seen loads of them, haven't we, together? Because I've been to a few with you. It sounds as though the Tramline thing at Hillsborough Park is going to be amazing. So I think what we need to do is next year, well, obviously you'll have been to the event in the next month or so, but next year when we do a guide to Tramlines again, we'll have another chat with you and find out how you went on.
Yeah, good.
And I particularly want you to make a note of things like spending for the dog, toilet facilities, because that's another area that I don't know much about. I know they've got them, but how easy they are to find for someone who's struggling with the site. It might be that, yes, you do have to have a guide.
That's why I'm taking a guide, because for somebody who's totally blind like myself, I don't think I'd ever find them.
I think you'd be struggling.
Yeah.
But some people are sort of, like I'm registered blind, but it's registered severely sight impaired, so I can see enough to kind of get by. And I think I would find the toilets eventually if they were in a good spot.
Yeah.
But if you're totally blind, I think you do need a guide.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
And if there's live bands playing, once they start playing, and if there's loud as some of the gigs we've actually been to see,
true,
you've no chance of finding your way around because your hearing's gone as well.
You've lost track of where you are in the building, haven't you? Luckily I've got enough sight to see the stage and generally roughly where the toilets are likely to be, But
according to my friends, they've got a designated platform for disabled people as well. That's
what we need to check out.
Good.
Yeah, there's a few venues have got that. The O2 does that as well, don't they?
Yeah.
So check that one out and feed that back to us next year. How the viewing platform goes, because that's key, I think, to a lot of sight impaired people.
According to my friend who went last year, they definitely got it last year.
Good.
So it sounds promising.
Yeah, good.
In fact, it was through talking about last year's gig that I decided to buy a ticket for this year, no matter who was on, because I applied in September.
Yeah.
And it wasn't up to a couple of months ago that they actually informed people who was actually appearing. So I bought my ticket on spec.
We were saying that some people did that just to make sure they got the ticket.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a great event no matter what. So hope you enjoy it then, Ken.
Oh, thanks, Graham.
Thanks for having a chat with us.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
I'm going to have a chat with Amy, who's one of the lucky people who went to Tramlines on the first year. And you did actually a report for Look North on TV as well, didn't you, Amy? Did you enjoy the festival?
I did, yeah. Yeah, it was really good. It was a lot. Because I hadn't been before, I wasn't really sure what to expect. But yeah, I did really enjoy it. It was really nice.
How did you go about getting round? Because obviously you've got a sight impairment. Yeah. Did you have a guide with you or a dog?
I took my friend with me, so she helped me around. But there was quite a lot of, with it being in Hillsborough Park, there was a lot of space to get around. Because we went during the day, we didn't really stay for the evening, so it wasn't too busy. So there was loads of space to get around, and it was all quite easy and nice and relaxing.
Yeah, and the facilities, were the facilities all right there? Toilets and that sort of thing?
Yeah, it was all good, yeah.
Yeah, and because it's a flat area, isn't it? It's quite easy to navigate around.
It is, yeah. Yeah, it was quite easy.
Yeah. Do you remember a particular band that you enjoyed, or were you just enjoying the whole experience?
I remember, I think there was one called St. Petersburg, which we quite liked. And there was another one, I can't remember the name of them though, but there was another one which we enjoyed. But yeah, we just enjoyed the experience. It was really
It's the whole vibe, isn't it? Everybody's all enjoying themselves. And access going in, did you have to queue very long to actually get through the barriers to get into the place, or was it good because you were going during the day?
Yeah, it was quite good because we were going during the day, and I think, if I remember rightly, we didn't have to go in the main queue because we all had, because we were all visually impaired.
I
think they just kind of let our group through. Yeah,
that's what they do. They do that fairly regularly at the events now, which is a good idea.
Yeah,
isn't it?
It is. Yeah,
and it doesn't affect anybody else because they're going at their speed through the queues.
Yeah.
In your case, you didn't go for lots of you didn't go to see the whole experience over the entire weekend, did you?
No, I didn't.
So
no.
Would it be worth you going back and paying or not? In your particular case,
I think maybe if it was a bit cheaper, then maybe I would. But I don't know that I'd pay for a full weekend pass.
No, I must admit, I'd probably go for one of these day passes that you can get personally because of the commitments. But I think that's also a good option, isn't it? Just a day pass.
It is, yeah.
You're not getting too much of it, are you then?
No, and I do often go to a lot of the Fringe events around the city centre as well.
That's what I was going to say.
We do really enjoy that. Because I know last year, me and my mum both ended up in the Peace Gardens when they had a big screen up, and there was a ABBA concert on, on the big screen, and it was just a really nice, good atmosphere. So
it's going to be very similar this year because we were talking to the council about what they've got laid on and how they're going to run it and everything. And it's basically going to be the Peace Gardens are for stuff like that, for lounging around and basically enjoying, relaxing, I would say. And watching some good videos and listening to some good music. Yeah. But then there's the area where there's all the entertainers and performers, which is on Barker's Pool. Yeah. That's going to be there again. There's all sorts of madcap stuff goes on at that.
I remember last year we walked into this bar and there was a band playing, and the bar was so small you could only really fit the band in the bar. You couldn't actually fit any people in.
It sounds very much like the Washington, or is it the Wellington? I can't remember.
It was something a bit like that. Yeah,
there's one near the actual Devonshire Green thing where I've been in to see a band, and it was the same. The stage is about double the size of this table that we're in front of, and they had an entire band on this thing. Yeah, some were hanging off the end. I think the keyboard player was on the floor with us. It was just, I was thinking, how can they run a place like this? But it was a very well-loved bar. Yeah. They had lots of bands on. Yeah. And when they were booking it, they knew what to expect. Yeah. But it was quite... it was very cosy, shall we say, I must admit.
Yeah, it was good to say, they've got a band on, they're brilliant, but, you couldn't actually fit any people in there to watch them.
Yeah, and stood 6 foot away from the drum kit, can be a bit much, can't it? Yeah. But that's the beauty of Tramlines, it's varied all the way through, isn't it?
Yeah, it is
and of course you've got Leopold Square, where it goes a bit quiet, and you've got the shade of the high buildings as well, so that's a nice place to chill out for an hour to relax as well. Yeah. A little bird told me you're actually on BBC's Look North about Tramlines, is that right?
I was, I was on last year.
Was that pre-arranged before you went to see Tramlines or not?
It was, yeah, quite a few months before. They'd heard, well, as far as I know, they heard that some clients from here were going to be going to the festival and seeing what it was, they wanted to find out more about what it was like going when you've got a visual impairment or some kind of, any disability, really, seeing things from a different point of view, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a good thing to put it across, because a lot of people, they never actually come across sight-impaired people in their entire lives. No. We take it for granted. But I think until I met my first wife, I had never met anybody with a sight impairment, let alone knew much about it. And, of course, then I've copped for it myself, so now I know all about it. But you take it for granted that people have an idea of what's going on.
Yeah.
And just to make a point, I do remember two women walking behind me when I was walking with White Stick in town once, and one of them was explaining to the other one what the White Stick was for, and the other one's going, is it really? Oh, that's a good idea, isn't it? This adult woman had no idea what a white cane was for. So it just shows you never overestimate what people know. So pointing it out on Look North's quite a good thing. Yeah,
it was. It was a really, because I watched it back afterwards, it was a really interesting thing, and it was good and fun for me to do. But the way they arranged it all and the things that they mentioned in it as well, it was all quite, I would say it's quite educational for people that wouldn't really have normally thought about things in that way.
Well, thanks for chatting to us, and
welcome.
You know, I might come back to you again if you get on one of these day passes at any point in the future. We'll have another chat about how you went on with that.
Okay,
cheers.
Thank you.
Anyway, I'm now going to have a chat with Keon and Kyle, who are the luckiest people here at SRSB, because they've just won a pair of tickets each to go to Tramlines for the full weekend, the Tramlines Festival. The paid-for bit. That's not fair, is it, Jane?
I think it's fair.
It's fair enough for us. You don't mind.
Well, I can see you're looking forward to it anyway, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed based on what I've heard about it this year. It's always been a great festival, even in the city centre, but now they've moved over to Hillsborough Park. It's very organised. They get some top acts on there. Have you got any particular bands that you're hoping to see yourselves? I mean, what about you, Kyle?
I think I want to see Everly Pregnant Brothers and Reverend and the Makers. Saturday looks a very good lineup.
Sounds good. Well, the Reverend and the Makers are fantastic, unless they've gone off since I last saw them. How about you, Keon? Have you got anything particularly fancy? Or
well, I just heard that Tilda Cinema Club are on the Friday. And Cortinas are on the Saturday. I like both of them.
Well, that should be good.
I'm looking forward to them too.
Fantastic.
And like I say, I like Reverend and the Makers as well, so...
They're great. So, and the tickets themselves, which you're just showing off, putting them in front of me. That's not fair, that, is it?
And here's what you could have won.
This is what you could have won.
You could have won one of these,
why is it all so speedboat? So, but the tickets were donated, weren't they, Jane, by some... was it a charitable organisation?
It's an organisation in Sheffield that's called the Ticket Bank, and they're wanting to improve access to events by facilitating donations to people that are beneficiaries of charities and community organisations. So we're very lucky that we've been registered with them, and then so Tramlines donate tickets to them, and then they facilitate passing tickets on to beneficiaries of charities.
Sounds good. Actually, that's a very good idea. I'm surprised that hasn't come up before, because I've never thought of that one. It's quite great. Because there's usually a few spare tickets around that organisations can give away, and if it's helping people who wouldn't perhaps normally be able to afford Tramlines tickets, that's good. Well, are you both intending going for the full weekend, or are you going to pick your days, or what? Because you've got you can do what you like, can't you, when you've got a full
I think
pass?
I'm going to pick and choose when I go. And just drop in and drop out when I want.
Sounds good. How about you, Keon?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'll make sure I'm there for the bands that, I'll probably go every day, but maybe might not stay for the full day depending on who's on.
Sounds good. Are you taking a guide with you or not?
Jane said that she's going to sort out a carer ticket for me, so that I can get a PA in with me.
Well, that's the way to do it, because it's there to be had, isn't it? And it's all part of the service. How about you, Carl? Are you heading down there on your own, or what?
No, I'll find someone to take me there.
You've got to, haven't you? I mean, it's a free ticket, and you're entitled to take a guide with you. So
and I always find music events, they are much better when you're with friends.
Oh, definitely, Well, we've proved that in the past, haven't we? There's nothing. I've been to a few gigs on my own, And I'm not kidding. Halfway through, you start losing interest, don't you?
Yeah. You listen to one or two songs and think, yeah, I'll go get the bus home now.
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah, I've been there, got the T-shirt. With your mates, you're dancing away, going crackers, and next thing you know, you've missed your bus.
You end up enjoying it so much more.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, neither of you... Do you use a guide dog, Keon, or not?
No, I've not got a guide dog, no.
So it doesn't affect either of you two. But I know they've got...
a cane.
Yeah, I know people are allowed to take guide dogs with them to these events, but they just have to be aware of the fact that every guide dog has a different sort of way about it, and you have to know your guide dog well to know whether it could take that sort of pressure.
Yeah. I mean, I am interested to see what it's like for a visually impaired person, because I've heard good things about it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to any form of gig, if it's a new venue, say, you're always dubious about going when you've got a visual impairment.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you don't know what it's going to be like.
No.
So you know,
you don't know what you're going to be expecting.
No. So what we'll do then, as of this moment, we'll book you for next year to have an interview about how it went this year. Well, thanks for chatting to us anyway. Thanks.
That's all right.
No problem.